Installing dual wall tubing. Dual wall tubing is a tube that usually has a meltable liner used to bond or create the seal. The tubing is installed in the same way as single wall tubing. The same techniques and equipment can be used. Assuming the correct size of tubing has been selected, the tube should fit easily over the article onto which it is being installed. A good guide is that the tube should be at least 10% bigger than the article before installation, and installed tightly by having at least 10 to 80% unresolved shrinking when it is fitting tight onto the article. Depending on the shape of the article and the material of the article, it should be determined what the best process is for installation. An oven, a hot air gun, or a soft frame, or even an infrared heater. Also, it is necessary to determine the best place to start the shrinking process on the assembly. Considerations here are the shape of the article, how the tubing is to be located on the article, and if air may get trapped during the shrinking process. If you install the tube by starting at one end, it is important that the tube is located in the correct position, and that the heat is applied in a controlled way by directing the airflow onto the tube, but away from the full length of the tube. The end of the tube will shrink into position, holding the tube in place. Notice the action of rotating the heat around the tube so that the heat is applied evenly. This is to ensure a consistent installed wall thickness of the tube. Once the tube has been recovered into position, the hot air can be directed further along the tube to continue the shrinking process. Note how controlling the direction of the airflow controls how the tube shrinks. The idea is to gradually work down the tube so that the air is not trapped underneath. With dual wall tubing, it is important that enough heat is applied to melt the liner, and if sufficient heat has been applied, it is usually possible to see a small quantity of the liner flowing from the end of the tube.